Hi everyone and welcome to another Doctor Who figure review by me, Mega Shots. And today I'll be reviewing the latest Forbidden Planet exclusive figure set, and it is the Master and Axon monster from the Claws of Axos. Now I got this recently. It is a Forbidden Planet exclusive, so it is from Forbidden Planet, and it is, in my opinion, one of the best figure sets that Forbidden Planet have ever released. And this review will be done in two parts. In part one, I'll be reviewing the Master figure, our first Roger Delgado figure. And then I'll be reviewing the Axon monster, which is in fact a repaint of the unreleased Collect and Build Crinoid figure. And before I review the Master figure, I'm going to show you some pictures of the excellent packaging it came in. Now, in my opinion, the packaging for this figure set is really excellent. It's not the packaging we normally see with figure twin packs from Forbidden Planet. The box that this set came in is more like the packaging that the 7th Doctor and TARDIS set came in. Anyway, if we take a look at the front, we can see that in the top left corner it says 2 posable action figures. In the top right corner it says 5+. Towards the bottom we can see a picture of Roger Delgado as the Master. And there's also a picture of one of the Axon monsters on the right, and just below that it says 1971. There is the new BBC logo in the bottom left corner. In the middle there is the Russell T Davies Doctor Who logo, and below that it says the Master and Axon, and next to that it says 3rd Doctor 1970 to 1974. And there's also a Underground Toys logo at the bottom. And on the side we can see the same pictures of the Axon monster and the Master once again. And there's also another Doctor Who logo, and at the bottom it says the Master and Axon. And if we take a look at the back, we can see the same pictures of the Master and Axon once again. And there's also some information on what happened in the 3rd Doctor story, The Claws of Axos. At the bottom there's some company and product information, and towards the top we can see when each Doctor appeared and what year that they went off from being the Doctor. And also right at the top there is another Doctor Who logo, and also in the top right corner it says 5+. Also with this set you get a nice background featuring 2 Axon creatures and also the Axon spaceship. I think this is really good for people who are doing Doctor Who figure adventures, and also for people who want to take pictures of the figures but with a good background. Okay, so now I'm going to review our first Roger Delgado figure. Okay, so here we have the figure of the first Master. Well, it might not be the first Master, but Roger Delgado was actually the first Master we ever saw in Doctor Who. This figure also comes with the Master's TCE accessory, which I'll be talking about later in this video. But first of all, I'm going to talk about this figure. Now, in my opinion, this figure has an absolutely fantastic likeness to Roger Delgado. I think the people that made the head sculpt for this figure really couldn't have done any better. I mean, it just looks exactly like him. I'm just really impressed with how well that they've done the head sculpt for this figure. I mean, they just really couldn't have done any better, as I said before. And I think that if they are going to make any more Roger Delgado figures in the future, then they really should carry on using this head sculpt, because it really is perfect. They've done a nice thing with the eyebrows. You sort of got one eyebrow up and one eyebrow down, as you can see, giving him a sort of very sinister facial expression. They've done very well with his beard, which has the 2 white stripes on it. Roger Delgado always had these 2 white stripes on his beard, I think. His hair is very nice. It has been painted black with lots of grey highlights, which make it look very realistic, in my opinion. One thing that is a little bit of a shame about the head on my Roger Delgado figure is the fact that some of the grey paint from the hair has slipped on to his right ear, but I'm not really too fussed about that. It still really is an absolutely brilliant figure, in my opinion. And also, a lot of people say that this figure has a very dark skin tone. They are right there. Once again, I think Design Works, or whoever the people that made this head sculpt, have done an absolutely brilliant job of it, and they really couldn't have done any better. It really does look just like Roger Delgado. And now we'll take a look at his clothing. Now, this is the suit that he wore in the Claws of Axos. I think Roger wore this in most of his time on Doctor Who. I think Roger did wear quite a few other costumes as well, but I think he did wear this one most of the time. There is 3 pockets on the suit here. There's one here, and one here. His sleeves have some creases on them, which helps to make the suit very lifelike. You've almost got this sort of chain-like thing near the bottom of the sleeves as well. You've also got the white ends on the sleeves, and he's also wearing these gloves, which look quite realistic. His trousers are a bit dull looking, but they have got lots of creases on them, which makes them look very lifelike. Moving on to his shoes, there's not much I can say about them really, because they do look quite dull. I do think that perhaps if they were painted with a more glossier paint, they'd look a bit more realistic. And also, if we take a look at the bottom of his right foot, we can see that there is a hole in the bottom of it. Now, lots of Doctor Who figures nowadays have holes in their right feet. Someone suggested to me that they put holes in the bottom of the feet for perhaps when they're painting the figures. But we still don't know for sure why there are holes in the feet of so many Doctor Who figures nowadays. I hope we do find out someday though. Okay, so for detail, I think this figure is very nice. The costume might look a bit dull, but it has been made very nicely, and I think that the head sculpt for this figure really is absolutely fantastic. And now I'm going to go through the articulation of this figure, which is standard. The head can turn from side to side. I think it might be able to do a 360-degree turn. I'm just not 100% sure yet. The arms can do a 360-degree turn from the shoulders. They can swivel 360 degrees at the biceps, and they can also bend up at the elbows. Both hands can swivel 360 degrees. Lower body articulation now. You can turn it from the waist, but I don't want to turn my figure from the waist too far, because as you can see, the suit is actually split on both sides. I think it is actually meant to be, but I think that if I turned it all the way around, perhaps I'd just split the whole thing open, which would definitely ruin the look of the figure. But the legs can still move outwards from the waist, and they can also bend backwards and forwards from the top. They can also swivel 360 degrees at the thighs, and they can also bend at the knees. And that's all I have to say for the detail and articulation of this figure. And overall, I think this really is an absolutely fantastic figure. And out of 10, I give our first Roger Delgado Master figure a very well earned 10 out of 10, because once again, the head sculpt is absolutely perfect, the clothing looks very good, and the articulation is also very good. But this review is not over yet, because now I'm going to take a look at his nice little TCE accessory. Okay, so here we have his TCE accessory. It is all black, silver and grey. There's not much I have to say about it, but I think it is nice that they've included it with this figure. It does fit into the master figure's right hand very nicely, and it doesn't fall out of the figure's hand at all, which is quite good, because with my Third Doctor figures, the sonic screwdriver always falls out of their hands, but with this figure, the accessory goes into the hand very well without falling out. And out of 10, I give the Master's TCE accessory a very well earned 10 out of 10, because it is a very nice sculpt. It has been very carefully painted, and I think it's very nice that they've included it with this figure, because the TCE was used by the Master throughout the Classic series quite a lot. And that is all I have to say for part 1 of this review. I hope you've all enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you again next time for the second part of my review of this set, which is of the Axon monster figure. Thanks for watching, YouTubers, and I'll see you again soon.